Welcome to Delta Green, God's Teeth, brought to you by Black Project Gaming. Get read in at blackprojectgaming.com. I'm Vince, your host and handler for this campaign. Joining me are Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, Doug as Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerrald Swenson, Jack as Special Agent Adrian Selivanov with the FBI's Computer Analysis Response Team, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. God's Teeth is a campaign of unthinkable horrors, written by Caleb Stokes for Delta Green, the role-playing game. For more information on Delta Green, please visit delta-green.com. Music in these episodes is brought to you by Cryo Chamber and Epidemic Sound. This podcast contains depictions of and allusions to violence against both children and animals, as well as unnatural horror, graphic violence, and adult language. As a result, it is intended solely for mature audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. So, in our last session, you all were in St. Louis, Missouri following your interview of one Lee Jernigan, also known as Scribelife 420. Under Anthony Pizzarelli's orders, you all got together, locked yourselves down in an abandoned office, or at least one that was temporarily abandoned due to the lockdown, and began your research in earnest into Conradin, who you've now confirmed went by the names of Jacob Tillman and Esau Tillman. During the course of your research, which took place over 24 consecutive hours, you confirmed that Jacob Tillman, Esau Tillman, and Conradin are all the same boy from Cornucopia House. Jacob Tillman's father, Eli, wrote popular memoirs about Jacob's abduction, rescue, and difficult recovery. Jacob Tillman legally changed his name to Esau right before he turned 18 and applied to Duke University. Conradin, now known as Esau, formed ties to the wealthy Lardy family, who have been awarded lucrative for-profit prison contracts by changes in U.S. immigration policy. You also found that Conradin's struggle with language likely stemmed from brain damage caused by Yelena Kalamatiano's mix of neglect and unnatural abuse. This seems to have allowed him to maintain a connection to the unnatural force, the cosmic hunger, that chose you all as its teeth. Conradin now works for Immigration and Customs Enforcement at an unlisted ICE detention facility at the Frank Harvey Water Reclamation Plant in El Paso, Texas. He has been using every abuse of power perpetrated by the Trump administration to build a new Cornucopia House, by hiding the ritual inside everyday horrors. With the current administration and Tillman's connections, almost nothing can legally be done to stop him. You also learned, determined, confirmed, that Babushka's torments at Cornucopia House meant to light a beacon for the gods. The wrong god answered, blessing sacrifice over sorceress. Conradin, who was the intended sacrifice, summoned you all there in 2001. You are his creatures, you are leashed to his fate, and now he's doing it all over again. Leah, you concluded and shared with the group that the children suffering under Conradin's unnatural experimentation can still be saved. They are still inside the age range of cognitive linguistic development, and they can eventually recover. You can stop it this time, but only if you go now. As a group, you all briefed your findings to Pizzarelli, who made it clear the program was not willing to sanction an operation against Conradin, ICE, or his suspected base of operations in El Paso, Texas. However, you did successfully convince Pizzarelli to allow you to assassinate Conradin, provided he's killed or disappeared in such a way as to protect the program from exposure. Anything short of that will inevitably result in you all being targeted by him and the program. And Pizzarelli gave you exactly 1 week to accomplish your objective. After Pizzarelli left, you did some additional digging and found that while Conradin did not appear to pay rent or have a mortgage, he was listed as the manager of a rental property in El Paso owned by a Lardy subsidiary called School Shield. With a plan beginning to take shape, you purchased a used car with cash under a false name and began your drive south to El Paso. You departed St. Louis around 6 p.m., with it being a roughly 18-hour drive. You will arrive in El Paso around 12 p.m. on Thursday, July 9th, 2020. And if you like, that's exactly where we can pick up with you all arriving in El Paso.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Okay. So what is the plan?
I mean, do we want to go to the rental property first?
You can scout it out.
Yeah.
See if he's actually there. If there's evidence of him going back there. So maybe we could take him out there.
Yeah, I'm fine doing that.
So, I know we told Pizzarelli we were going to take Conradin out away from the facility. We weren't going to mess with the facility, but he's got people on the inside. They're going to continue this, right?
I'm just cutting off the head of the snake for now, just to get him out of the way. But I think Conradin is like the most dangerous part of this whole situation right now. He's the one with the direct connection. I'm not saying we don't go after the facility and try to free those kids. I'm just saying if we take him out first, we'll have an easier time at the facility.
I see what you're saying, except I think if things go sideways, if this is very clean and very quiet, then yeah, I think we should do it. But if it looks like it could get messy and loud, then I think taking Conradin out sends a warning to the people at the facility and makes that harder. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think we have to be sure that we can take him out clean and quiet. Otherwise, we're going to warn the people at the facility that something's up and they're going to lock it down.
Are you worried that they're going to lock it down because you still want to go inside and get those kids out?
Yes. Because I mean, obviously, taking out Conradin is important, but I think the priority for me, at least, is that I don't want to let those kids down again.
Fair. I'm not saying that we're going to. I'm just saying, like, if we can and if we should take him out first. Without Conradin, yes, he might have programs in place that would enable the horrors that happened at Cornucopia House, but he was the driving force. He knows intimately exactly what happened and is able to manage and course correct and do what's needed to make it happen again. They don't have anyone else who can. We killed the others.
You know how much I hate an 11th hour plan change, but there's something to what Bear's saying about getting the kids out and doing this all clean and discreet. And Adrian looks over at Sarah briefly before sort of just looking out the windshield. So, what are the chances that we can use him before we have to take him out?
Use him how?
Getting into the facility. I mean, you heard Pizzarelli, that trying to get in there, trying to do what you want to do, it's not going to be easy. I've been thinking about it on the drive, and I'm not deep in this the way that you all are, but I'm deep enough in it to know that if Tillman gets to do what he wants with these kids, it's going to be bad for them, but it's going to be bad for them anyway if they stay there. And I guess what I'm saying is I agree with you, Bear. I don't want those kids in there either. And if I can, I want to help get them out. But I don't think that, rather, I do think that it's an easier job to do if we could, I don't know, convince, and I say that lightly, convince Tillman to comply with us and to help us. But I don't know how he could do that. I don't know if he would.
That kid is a true believer.
I know, that's what I'm saying is I'm just, again, just throwing it out there that I don't know what or how we could use him to get what we want. Because the alternative is that, yeah, we kill him, and that would be great for everybody. But it doesn't make the second part of what we want to do any easier. If anything, it jeopardizes it.
I think Bear is going to look straight at Sarah. And he says, we've never talked about this, but have you ever tortured anybody?
No, I haven't. You?
No. Shit, no. No, I'm a firearms instructor, for God's sake. I know enough about it to know, though, that it's not as easy as they make it look on TV.
Especially not with someone who has been through with what he's been through.
I don't know how we break this kid. He exists because he's already broken in a way that probably can never be fixed.
And unless another option presents itself, I think we need to go in there with the task of taking him out, of killing him to end this.
He may have identification or badges or something on him that may be able to get us inside and make that easier on us. But I don't think using him as a way to get into the facility is going to work.
Yeah, we don't.
He's the whole reason we're here.
You know how, like, all this weird shit with animals has been happening, right? It surrounds him. I think if we were to kidnap him and try and force him to let us in, I think we're just inviting some fucking, I don't know, what do they have in El Paso? Grizzly bears? Some grizzly bear's gonna come after us, man.
I don't think they have grizzly bears in Texas. At least not, natively.
They got them in California. Oh, shit. I'm getting sidetracked. Never mind.
Okay, well then, so we abandon that plan. We just go in there. We do some recon. We snipe him when we get the chance. Clean as quickly and discreetly as possible. Do we even consider what those following steps are after that? Because if we do want to do this, if we do want to go all the way with it, we've only got one shot.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you're right. We keep our eyes open for anything we can get off of Tillman that'll make it easier for us to get in, but I don't think he can be coerced.
Well, let's scope him out and get whatever intel we can. If there is something that pops up that makes us change our mind, we can talk about it more then, but our goal is to end this so that this doesn't happen again in 15 years, and whether it's us or someone else is right back where we started. The cycle just continues and continues. We don't want that.
Okay, so where do we start? If we scope out the rental?
I think so.
The rental you're talking about was the rental that's associated with the Laurides company, right? What was it?
School Shield.
Okay. Yeah, we should scout that out. My thought is that might be the place. That might be where these kids are being held.
I doubt it. They'd be held in a government facility. That's not government, is it? Or at least it's not listed as one.
I mean, there's unlisted sites all over this thing.
Yeah, neither is the reclamation plant.
Fair enough.
Look, I've been with the Department of Homeland Security since practically the beginning. Things are changing. Government sites, it's all contractors these days. It's all suitcases of money being sent to some corporation somewhere. If you're looking for some big bad black site, those don't exist. It's all contractors, man.
Okay, well then, we scope it out, and if we see kids, we take them, I guess.
Yeah, or at least scope it out.
So here's a question. I think we can all assume that guns, firearms, weapons will serve some kind of role in what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing for guns? Because as far as I know, Sarah, Adrian, and Bear, you have your department-issued firearms. Leah, you've got your private firearm. And then Doug, you've also got your personal firearms, I believe, with you.
Yeah. I think we said last time that Bear was traveling with like a couple of hard cases, right?
We did, yep. And the only illegally procured firearm we have is the hunting rifle from Florida. Did we want more? Did we want different weapons? How did we want to approach that, if at all?
The hunting rifle from Florida, I'm just going to say, unless you guys say otherwise, I think that would have been disposed of.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. We'll say that that is no longer in play.
So Bear has a Barrett M82. It was a big purchase for him, but he has it. This is a big gun. This is like a truck stopping gun. Could Bear take like an evening as we're traveling or when we get here to file off the, like, to make it not traceable? Or I guess it still would be traceable but because of the ballistics, right?
Right. Chemically removing or mechanically removing the serial number isn't a guaranteed thing, but it'll certainly make tracing it a lot more difficult for whoever finds it on the back end. So if that's something you'd like to do you have anything in craft gunsmithing? I don't think you have anything in forensics.
No, I don't have anything like that.
What's your criminology rating?
It's 44. Not too bad.
I'll let you give it a shot if you want.
Would somebody who has better criminology be able to advise me on this?
I will say, yeah, if you're getting help, I'll be generous, and what I'll do is whoever's got the highest forensics rating, we can say is assisting you and kind of guiding you on how to appropriately remove the serial numbers from the weapon. I will warn you that if you critically fail, you will damage the weapon and render it inoperable.
Okay.
Sarah, what's your forensics?
My forensics is 70.
I have 50 as well.
So this is what we'll do. We'll say it's a group project on your way down to El Paso. Everybody kind of put your collective heads together to find a way to get the serial numbers off of this. Do we want to do other weapons as well? Or are we just doing the big fuck off Barrett?
I'd probably want to do my weapon.
Yeah, I think we should do as many weapons as we got, like the ones that we have at least, because that way we can at least have other options.
Okay.
And we should also look into see if we can buy some guns while we're down there.
I mean, it is Texas. We could probably buy some. It's just that the Barrett would be a significant expense.
Yeah.
So let's do that then. We'll figure out how to get more guns later, but for the time being, we'll focus on erasing the serial number for this Barrett. With Adrian's help, researching various methods, with Sarah's skill in forensics, and with you, Bear, doing the work, with your criminology rating, I'll give you a plus 20 to that roll. But again, critical failure will result in that weapon being rendered inoperable.
All right. I will attempt that.
92.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Yeah, with a 92 over 44, with your 20% bonus, it's a 64. Unfortunately, yeah, you're not able to completely eradicate the serial number from this weapon. You don't damage it to the point where you can't use it, but you know if you were to push it any further, you would risk damaging this weapon in some way, shape, or form.
The problem with the weaponry is not the fact that the gun can be used to identify so long as the gun isn't found. It's the ammunition is the issue. Isn't it?
Well, that's based on ballistic.
So two things. One, the serial number, because all of that is on file, the serial number would be able to be traced back to Bear if the weapon were to be recovered. Also, if bullets were recovered from the crime scene and then the weapon were recovered, the two could be compared and you could confirm that that weapon was the one doing the shooting. Does that make sense?
Yes. But that won't be a problem if we just make sure the weapon doesn't get found.
We're in Western Texas. There's probably a lot of places to bury guns.
Probably quite a few places to dump a firearm and it not be found. So while that is a failure, you do still have some options available, should it come to that. But for now, I believe the plan was for everybody to go to the rental property, correct?
While on the way, we should probably look up places where we can buy other firearms and other options for us to use. And also other weaponry, maybe, like knives or melee weapons or what have you.
Well, I'll let you all think that over, and that's going to be a question. Do you want to go through a legitimate purchase, or do you want to try to obtain them criminally? But maybe stew on that for a little bit. But as you pull up to the address registered to this rental property, you find it is in one of El Paso's roughest neighborhoods. It's a single door in the middle of a blocks-long crumbling row of identical buildings. Each unit's sole window is choked off by an ancient air conditioner, chugging in this summer heat. The security grating across the door suggests a far humbler home than what Tillman could probably afford. Who's got the highest alertness out of all of us?
I have 87.
With your alertness, it is pretty evident that the only security cameras operating on or near the street probably broke a long time ago. So you're fairly confident that you're not going to be observed should you engage in any illicit activities on this street.
Okay.
But you've got the property in sight. Are we setting up surveillance? What's the plan?
Well, do we want some to stake out in the car and then others head out on foot? Or do we all just want to get out of the car and tackle this as a group?
I would say even, do we want 2 people to stay here and just kind of watch to see what happens with the building, and 2 people to head out looking for guns?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think the first step in this would just be to watch it for a few hours, see what sort of traffic it has. Hopefully none.
Yeah.
We don't need all 4 people to do that. We could have like 2 people look for a gun show. I don't know.
How do we want to split up?
No offense, but I think I can make sure that we don't get sold any lemons with the guns.
Okay, well, do you and Sarah maybe want to check out the place, and Dr. Caron and I can hang back?
Yeah, are you guys okay if something comes up?
I think we can handle it.
Okay.
Keep watch.
All right.
We've got Adrian and Leah staying behind to surveil the property. And then we've got Bear and Sarah heading off to look for guns.
Yeah.
Another weaponry, maybe.
Do you think, Sarah? Do you think we should try and find a gun show, or just go full off the books?
I mean, we've gone off the books before, haven't we?
You have.
Yeah.
So I think that since it worked for us last time, I don't see why we would avoid that this time. Plus, it's Texas.
Probably if we're going off the books, maybe we should take up a collection before we go. Bear, you notice, is a little bit nervous anytime you mention money.
I'm assuming that, like, knowing we were going off the books, Sarah would have brought, like, cash on hand.
We can say that for sure, yeah.
Since they've done it before, I think she's been prepared this time.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, considering, yeah, you did do the purchase in the past, so in this kind of eventuality, it would make sense that you would have cash on hand.
Yeah.
What are we doing with the car, though? Are we going to make Adrian and Leah bake out in the Texas heat?
Oof.
And Sarah and Bear take the car? Because you only got the one.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian's soft and pale and would surely burn.
I guess we're all going for the guns then. There's no way to really split up.
Well, is there like a hotel that they could camp out in? There's nothing like right across the street, is there?
And not to surveil.
Nothing across the street. These are mainly rows of very broken down, very austere apartments.
When you say like broken down, and when you're sort of describing this place, is it like abandoned, broken down, or is it just sort of low income poverty area?
Low income poverty area, for sure.
So it's like not completely abandoned, it's just poor.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I mean, Dr. Caron, do you want to, I don't know, you've got a friendly face, maybe we could try to get into one of these buildings, see if we can't keep an eye out from across the way?
We can try? I don't know. Okay, we can try. Sorry, just to confirm, like, these buildings across the way, they're just apartment complexes, right?
Yeah, it's essentially like a row of standalone units, like almost kind of like row homes, row houses, townhouses.
Okay. There's no real way for us to like surveil the area unobtrusively, is there?
No. It doesn't sound like from what Vince is saying. Is it possible then to, and I don't know if you have the better search score, Dr. Caron, but to look and see if there's any of these buildings that are abandoned or unoccupied, vacant, that we could maybe break into?
I mean, my search is a 61, so.
So is mine.
Crazy thought. We could also just, Sarah and I could just take a taxi.
Uber.
Well, Uber, you need a credit card.
Yeah.
We could pay cash for a taxi.
Yeah. It's up to you guys. But I'm okay. I'm also okay with trying to find like a vacant apartment building to scope out from.
Yeah, I think that's fun, especially if we're planning to maybe be there a while and we want to scope it out for a significant amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, if we can find it, cool.
Because the alternatives too is, if this is sort of like if we're just sort of like, roasting in the car, hanging out for, a few hours, it might look a little weird on the street, especially if this place is like, not super friendly with cops. And
do these apartments have like a website or something that we can see if there were any open units?
No. No.
Okay, so it's one of those things. Okay, so like we would have to do some legwork and see if we could find something or see if there's anyone there. We can check. We can see if there's any like signs of life in one of these apartments and see if one of them doesn't have any.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have the same search score, so I mean.
Yeah.
Let's do this. It's not so much as search isn't as much of a factor here since you're easily able to find places across the street. What's really at stake is if they are occupied or not. So I'm actually going to call for a luck roll.
Oh.
So straight 50-50 shot. Whoever wants to make it.
I don't feel lucky.
Okay.
Oh, with a 20 under 50, meaning you succeed. You do find signs that one of the apartments not directly adjacent to Tillman's, but maybe an apartment or two down the row, looks to be unoccupied. The window is broken. The door appears to be held on by little more than duct tape and spit. And in the time, you all are kind of contemplating your next moves and what to do next. You don't see any signs of anybody coming in or out. Should you happen to go and maybe take a peek through the window or take a peek through the glass on the doors, you'll see that the inside is just littered with all manners of detritus. It's clearly been used by squatters, probably a junkie or two, but does not appear to be permanently occupied by any kind of resident. And judging by the placement of the windows on the second floor, you'd probably have a good vantage point of Tillman's apartment.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to set up in this trap house.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You find the door isn't even locked, and you're able to kind of push it open. It doesn't have very much give. The hinges are rusted. There's trash on the other side keeping it closed, but you get it open, and you have access.
We'll be here. Just text us when you're on your way back, or if anything comes up.
Yeah, we'll let you know. I'm sure. I think I got this before, but what's your burner number? I assume at this point we all have burners. We're not texting on our regular phones.
Probably smart.
Yeah.
And something that would have been easy enough for you to pick up on your way south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when you on your way back, if you could pick up us a few more energy drinks, maybe some snacks, something.
At this point, I bet Bear probably even knows what energy drinks and snacks Adrian prefers.
White Monster, baby.
That's right.
Especially that 24 hours in that office in St. Louis. Yeah, you've got a good feeling as to Mr. Selivanov's preferences.
Yeah, Bear will make a note of that. And I guess this would be a criminology roll for us, right?
Yeah, it depends on how we want to do it. Are you and Sarah going to try to do it legitimately, like you said, through a gun show, through a gun shop, or are you going to try to identify a criminal contact locally to procure illegal firearms?
So what would be the challenge in going through a gun show? Would that then become a roll to be undetected, or it's a risk that they'll track it down?
Essentially, it would just be, if you were to purchase it through a gun show, it would still be traceable back to you. But again, kind of like Leah had mentioned, if you make the gun disappear, that's maybe not so much of a concern. There is no waiting period in the state of Texas. Going through a criminal contact, using your criminology skill for all intents and purposes, would just add another layer of deniability in that the weapon wouldn't be able to be traced.
So, and we're going to need an ID in order to submit.
Correct. And you're not Texas residents either.
Oh, so not being Texas residents, that means that we don't get to skip the waiting period?
Well, so there isn't one in Texas, but I think you can purchase a long gun, a rifle or a shotgun in Texas without being a resident. You can't purchase handguns, but you still have to submit to the background check. So still a traceable sale in your name.
Right. So if we wanted to really not be traceable, we'd have to probably make a criminology check to get a fake ID, which is, with this time frame, is going to be tough anyway.
Yeah, that's going to take a bit.
So we're looking at a criminality check and a lot of money for weapons, or a criminality check and less money for a fake ID, and then money for the weapons. So it kind of seems like maybe just try to buy the weapons illegally. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. I mean, I think it's your criminology check we're counting on here.
Yeah, my criminology is 74.
Yeah. So Bear will defer to you.
Go ahead and make the roll.
Okay.
Although Bear does find it a little bit tough to defer to Sarah when we're talking about buying guns. You can tell he's swallowing his pride down hard on this, but yeah, it makes sense. But Bear is struggling with the idea of having to depend on somebody to do something that he's supposed to be good at.
I could see that. But thankfully, with a 47 under 74, Sarah comes through once again. And through various means and methods, Sarah, you identify a local purveyor of firearms and arrange a meeting at a motel in El Paso. He requests to meet in person. He requests you bring cash. And apart from that, no questions will be asked.
Yeah, I've done this before, so as long as it seems, not legit, but routine, then yeah, I think that's fine.
I think Bear is going to go into this meeting clearly compensating, and he's going to go in, checking all the guns, working the action, checking everything, throwing out, comments, oh, yeah, the Sig Sauer is not nearly as good as the Glock, but well, I guess beggars can't be choosers, that sort of thing.
So you meet this contact in this motel, and it's an older guy, probably in his late to mid 60s. His gray hair cut in a regulation high and tight, the sides shorn down to the skin, beard on his face, tattoo of what looks like a crow or raven on the side of his neck, wearing an olive drab military coat or military style jacket, even in this heat. And he sets the guns down on the motel bed, and it's not a huge selection, but it's varied enough. A few M4 style medium light rifles or carbines, bolt action rifles, shotguns, a couple of pistols.
I, Cami, know nothing about guns, but I'm assuming Sarah does. So she, and probably talked about it with the bear about what would be the best things to get for what they're planning to do.
I think we want at least one good sniper rifle.
That makes sense.
That seems like, that could be an important part.
Yeah, one of the rifles there is a Remington M24 bolt action style sniper rifle with a scope.
Okay. Yeah. And then we need 4 pistols and maybe a couple shotguns?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to be more than we can afford.
Well, we'll find out. So no carbines, no M4s or anything like that?
That's a good question. The problem with those is they're not concealable. If we're going full on frontal assault, then yeah. I think that probably the shotguns we're gonna want for Adrian and Leah.
Okay.
Just because they get a bonus to hit with those. I mean, Sarah's pretty dangerous with just a handgun.
Yeah, that's what I've been using.
So what I got for your shopping list is a heavy rifle, 4 medium pistols, and 2 shotguns.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We're going to call that an extreme expense.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you don't want to let that value stop you, you're going to go into some significant debt and burn through some money, and each of your non-Delta Green bonds would be reduced by 1d4.
I think Sarah would be okay with that.
Yep. Bear is very nervous when it comes to money, but you see a resolve come over his face, and he probably hears the amount we're talking about, and he goes, he just stops and looks away for a little bit, and finally goes, fuck it. Yeah. Gerrald's lawyer is gonna fucking tear me to pieces, but yeah.
All right, so Barry, you're going to take this one on then.
Yep. I will help out.
Go ahead and roll 1d4.
A D4. Okay. Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah, with a 3, reduce all of your bonds by that amount.
That reduces my bond to Gerrald to 0.
Oof.
Okay.
And to my kids to 4. And it's never come up, but my old supervisor from Virginia, Frank Tatalia, who's retired now.
What's he down to?
He's just down to a 9. I never dipped into Frank.
Okay.
It was a thought that just never came up. But yeah, Bear is not slowly, but is becoming more and more estranged from his immediate family.
Yeah, that tracks. Well, you hand the cash over. You get your firearms in return. All of them per the seller. Guaranteed to not be traceable by serial number. And you depart with your haul firmly in hand. But that much poorer as a result. But with that, Adrian and Leah, you are set up across the street in this apartment, trying to ignore the stale stench of sweat, of urine, of other bodily fluids that are scattered all throughout this dilapidated property. And you survey the street, the approach to Tillman's apartment, the door, and in the few hours it takes while Sarah and Bear are out conducting this transaction, there is no activity at that apartment.
Starting to feel a bit like this is a waste of time.
At least the others are getting other things we might need.
Yeah, I just mean that we probably should have gone with... Maybe not. I don't know.
I would not know what to do at a gun show.
And you'll notice that, like, Adrian is, like, overheating. He's got his windbreaker off. He's got, like, his shirt unbuttoned down to, like, the middle of his chest. And he's just, like, a wet dog right now. Just panting.
Leah's probably not much better, honestly. She's just able to keep her composure, like, just barely, but it's a close thing because she's also, like, dripping sweat. It's Texas. It's not fun. Do you think a man like Connor would even stay at a place like this, or would he just stay at that facility?
I mean, I don't know. I could see him just staying at the facility, but I could also wouldn't be surprised if he did stay somewhere like here. I mean, yeah, he's he went to, I guess, an Ivy League school or something like it, but he was also raised in squalor, apparently. I mean, you guys saw the place more than I did, but from everything you guys had told me, the place was hell. But he also seemed to embrace it.
Yeah, it was probably as close to hell on earth as you could get by mortal hands and unnatural means. At least for those kids.
Make an alertness roll for me. Either or both of you.
What's your alertness?
67.
I think yours is better than mine.
Come on. Critical success.
66 under 67. You love to see it. As you're kind of chatting with Adrian, discussing Conradin, discussing his past, the conditions you saw him living in, keeping your eyes intermittently on the door of the apartment across the street, you notice something. A very large, live rabbit emerges from some shrubs, some undergrowth nearby, and hops its way up to the front of Conradin's apartment, right in front of the door. And you have to kind of squint to see it. But the rabbit seems healthy, glowing even. And while you didn't have any experience with veterinary medicine, it becomes very clear to you that this animal is visibly pregnant. And as you watch, it begins giving birth to a litter right on the sidewalk.
That's not natural.
What isn't? What's not natural?
A rabbit's giving birth right there. What the hell? In the open?
Does Adrian see it now?
Yes.
Oh. Ew.
It's in front of Conradin's apartment.
It is.
Shouldn't they be doing that in like a rabbit hole or something?
Yeah, or something like that. It's in front of his apartment.
Do you have binoculars or anything with you?
Good question. Let me check my kit. I don't think I do, though.
Would that be like a trivial expense or something like that?
Yeah, you know what? Make a luck roll. We'll see if you have binoculars with you.
No.
Yeah, 92 over 50. I mean, do you have cell phones?
Yeah. I'll try to use my phone and try to zoom in with the camera.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Yeah, you see this rabbit laying down, giving birth to these kittens, to these babies. And zooming in, there are 4 of them.
What?
Oh dear.
Go ahead and roll sand.
I was also filming this, and I'm going to text it to the other 2.
Okay.
That's a failure.
All right. With a 97 over 64 for Leah, you lose 1. Adrian with a 44 under 59, you lose nothing.
Yeah, I think that because that that critical success, I think Adrian is so sort of like marveling at the grotesquerie of it and not realizing maybe that maybe it's Dr. Caron who actually understands the significance of the 4 kittens whereas Adrian's just sort of grossed out by it, and so he's just texting it to Sarah and Bear.
Yeah, Sarah and Bear, as you're driving back with the guns in the trunk of your used vehicle, your cell phones vibrate with an incoming message, and should you open it, you do find this video taken through a dirt-encrusted window of this rabbit giving birth right in front of Esau Tillman's property.
It's such an insane thing to send with zero context. I mean, yeah, she looks at it.
If you look at it, go ahead and roll sanity.
Nope.
Oh dear.
Bear, are you watching it?
At this point, I would feel left out if I didn't. No, that's a failure at 86.
Oh, no.
All right, so Sarah with a 63 over 42, you lose 1. Bear with an 86 over 46, you lose 1.
Holy shit.
And yeah, you watch the proceedings.
I think when Bear sees this, he's just, what the fuck? Why did that kid send that to us? Oh, Christ.
I think that's Sarah's first reaction, too. Like, did someone steal their phone? What happened? But then I think she realizes that there's 4 of them, and obviously animals have been significant this whole time. So, I mean, there's 4 of them? Is it supposed to be us?
My blood pressure can't take this shit. That kid's gonna be the end of me.
Okay, just delete it, put the phone down.
All right.
Yeah, those 4 rabbits are supposed to be us. God damn it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Now you see it.
Oh.
Why'd you just... Okay, you sent it to them, damn it.
What if I did something really stupid?
Do it.
Out of character. No one's come and gone from Tillman's place, right?
That is correct.
So just to establish this, it's like the middle of the day on a weekday, though, right?
At this point, yeah, we're pushing probably 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday.
I mean, it wouldn't be unexpected that nothing happened till now. But anyway, go ahead, Jack, please.
I think Adrian, as he lets the significance sink in and the heat exhaustion start to hit him, and the impatience, the Sarah and Bear have been gone just a little too long. He, in his sweat-stained mania, is going to carefully open the door, and I think he's going to go and check out those rabbits.
Yes.
Leah, do you escort him or do you remain in place?
One of us has got to remain in place.
Okay. Well, you remain in position. Adrian, you exit the flop house. You cross the street, heading up to the front step of Tillman's rental property, and you look down at this mother rabbit, these 4 newborns suckling at her, covered in all manner of effluvia and fluids.
But they look like peaceful and healthy. They're not like trying to attack us or attack me or attack themselves or...
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, so if that's the case, he's sort of going over there in a huff, ready for the worst possible situation. And when he sees that there's this sort of like almost... It's gory, but there's almost a beauty to it because it's, it's life. It's these 4 creatures nursing on their mother. And he just sort of pauses and he lets initial frustration just sort of melt away a bit. But then he looks up and he looks at the front door, looks around. Could I roll like an alertness to see if I see anyone like peering out from their window or looking at me on the street?
You have a 59 alertness now, so I'm just going to give it to you. It's easy enough to look up and down the street. You see some people walking, but they don't seem to be paying you any mind or any attention. Heads down, hands in pockets, walking to or from across street. Nobody directly heading to you. Doesn't appear to be anybody watching from any nearby residences with the exception of Leah across the street. Nobody peering out the windows of nearby neighboring apartments, scoping you out. You're fairly confident you are unobserved.
So I imagine that given his disposition, his shirt's untucked, it's a button down, but it's like untucked, and it's unbuttoned enough, but it doesn't reveal like the Kevlar vest underneath. So he's looking a little, like a little worse for wear. Is it like a sort of screen door and then like a wooden door, or?
Yeah, so there's a security grate across the door, but it's unlocked. The door itself is locked, but it's a typical residential door. It's not very sturdy.
And there's no like security cameras that we can see?
None. Going off of Sarah's successful alertness roll earlier, there are no cameras nearby, and any that were there have broken long ago.
I'm going to try and lockpick the front door, if it's possible.
Do you have any lockpicks, and do you have any training in lockpicks?
Well, I've watched a lot of movies. And that's to say I haven't watched any movies, but I have played video games a lot.
And you've probably watched some videos online. There's a lot of lockpicking tutorials online.
Yeah. He likes to go to bed and sleep, while watching those. But I don't... I guess I don't. I really want to, though. Can I just do like a luck roll to see if I do have one? And then if I don't, I'll back off?
Yeah, fuck it. Sure. Go for it. 7 under 50. I'm going to give it to you.
The dice are telling me I got to do it. So, yeah, no, it's sort of like a fidget toy for him a lot of the times because he never gets to use it. But yeah, he pulls it out, sort of fidgeting at first and realizing what it is. It's like he looks around, he looks back briefly at at the window, sort of meeting Dr. Caron's gaze. Whether or not he knows that she sees him or not is irrelevant, but it's almost as if like he's wordlessly saying, if I don't come back, I'm sorry. But he's going to try and pick the door.
I will allow you to use your criminology to try to make this roll.
All right.
With a 41 over 30. You know just enough to be dangerous. You stick the pick in and the rake. You begin moving them around, trying to engage the pins within the lock. Unfortunately, it's beyond your current level of experience or training.
What if I got rid of one of my bonds in exchange for success?
Ooh, like got rid of it entirely?
Yeah. Like a bargain. But it's cool if not, but...
Yeah, before we go there, you also have a foot if you wanted to try to kick it, or you could see if you get access to a pry bar, a crowbar, a tool of some kind.
I like the discretion of this, because you did describe that there are people out, out and about, sort of, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of into just keeping things stealthy.
What bond would you want to get rid of?
I'm going to get rid of the bond I have with my mother, Anya.
Okay, if you're willing to break that bond entirely, I'll give it to you.
I think elsewhere, he doesn't know it yet, but something really bad has happened to her.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's the measure of success, then yeah, I will. I imagine it's maybe trickier than he, it's the thing of real life application versus watching secondhand, but I think eventually he gets it. And when he realizes he does, he kind of looks back shocked at the window that Dr. Caron is in, and she'll watch him open the door and enter.
What's going through Leah's mind?
She just knows that two people being out there at the same time is even more conspicuous. So she's staying where she is until he manages to get that door unlocked.
Does she let Baron Sarah know?
Oh yeah, she's texting this whole stream of thought happening. He's like, so he's okay. He's trying to unlock the door. He's trying to lockpick it right now as we speak. It's a whole stream of thought going into the text right now, and they're getting a lot of pings as they're driving in.
I think if Sarah shares this with Bear is just like, oh, don't worry about it. There's no way you can pick that lock. That kid's way too soft.
He opened the door.
Okay. We have to hurry. Go. Go fast.
Bear guns it.
Adrian, you enter this dark apartment, and the first thing you notice is that it essentially consists of one room. A living/bedroom with a mattress on the floor and no other furnishings. Folded piles of clothes are stacked along the wall. There's a barely used kitchenette, a refrigerator, what you presume is the door leading into a bathroom, and nobody is there.
I think, the heat has gotten to Adrian, but once he's inside, in this, I assume it's dark.
It is dark.
Yeah. I think a cooler head starts to prevail, and he realizes, oh no. But he also realizes that he's already inside and can't just back out now. So he is going to, he'll use his phone as like a light. He's not going to use any of the house lights. But I think he's just going to do like a quick little perusal of things. I know you said there isn't much to peruse, but he is going to sort of like flip through some of the stack of clothes, maybe peek into the fridge and the freezer, see if there's anything that he can glean from anything in here.
The refrigerator is empty, as is the freezer. In the bathroom, it's a soap-scummed shower, an immaculate toilet, and a towel, crusty and dry from long use without a wash. The clothes are utterly unremarkable, mainly spare changes of navy blue polo shirts emblazoned with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement logo and matching navy cargo pants. And apart from that, the only other thing you really notice is a laptop and a journal on the bed sheets of this mattress laying on the floor.
He's kicking himself, wishing he had brought a flash drive with him. He's definitely going to look through the journal real quick, but you said there's only one room, right? And I've already looked through the bathroom, so it doesn't look like there's anyone here.
Right.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll start to look through the journal first. Just a quick perusal, nothing too major.
It's this leather-bound journal that, judging by the dates and the sheer amount of information in here, goes back to when Conradin was 16 years old. It would probably take you a day, if not more, to work through the entire thing.
He'll shut it for now and just flip open the laptop to see if, just sort of glance at what's on the desktop.
Yeah, it's old. It's not even password protected. From what you can tell, there's no internet connection. And doing just a quick cursory look, it looks like it runs a version of Tor, of the Onion router.
Dark web shit?
Dark web shit. The only file saved to the local drive is a spreadsheet.
I'm going to open it up.
It's a list of names and aliases and some sort of color-coded system for what looks like recruitment priority, and a second green, yellow, red tag labeled only trust.
I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to start to record going through this spreadsheet and going. Is it multiple tabs you said, or?
Well, it's really only two. There's the names and aliases, and then whatever Excel rule he's using to color code their level of trust, assumedly.
Yeah, so I'm going through it, I'm recording, and when I'm done with that, I'll shut it for now, and then just as quickly as I can, I'm going to go towards the latest entry in the journal, and I'm going to just quickly do a snapshot of the last 10 pages of entries.
The first thing you notice going to that last page, the last one at least used, there's still plenty of blank pages in this journal. The last page is dated the day before, Wednesday, and it reads, "They are coming. You are here."
Oh my. Is there any context for that, or is there anything else in the previous journal entries that points to his state of mind or any kind of grand plan that he has?
Briefly flipping through the last few entries prior to the one from the day before, from what you can tell, it looks like Conradin, Esau, was using federal resources to hunt for you all. He was close to discovering your identities, but he doesn't appear to be looking very hard. It's almost as if he expects the information to soon reveal itself.
Intriguing. So yeah, I'll take those pictures on my phone, as well as the recording on the spreadsheet. I'm going to take off my shirt. I'm going to rub down the keyboard and like any handles that I might have touched, like the fridge or the freezer or the front door knobs. Do I want to take the journal? Fuck. Or the laptop? I feel like I have like a little Sarah on my shoulder and a little Dr. Caron on the other. Bear on the top of my head. But I think with the heat sort of like subsiding a bit, the kind of like frustration that he was feeling, he is going to leave those alone. But he does wipe them down with the shirt just so there's no like fingerprints. But then he'll put his shirt back on.
Well, we'll say during this time while you were inside, Bear and Sarah, you return to the address. Do you go to see what Adrian is doing? Do you run up to Leah?
I mean, is the door open?
No, the door's closed. Adrian, I would assume Adrian would have the presence of mind to close the door behind him.
Yeah.
I think, like, as we're getting close, she would have asked Leah if he's still in there.
And I'm assuming Leah would have confirmed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I think Sarah would go in, at the very least.
Adrian, as you're kind of wiping everything down and beginning to make your exit, the door opens very quietly and you turn to see Sarah entering. Bear, are you going with her?
Bear would stand outside and cover the exit and just keep a lookout on the street.
Yeah, with Bear standing outside, Sarah, you dip inside, and Adrian, you immediately clock her as she comes in.
I think if you know he hears the door starting to open, he just assumes that it's going to be Tillman, and so he sort of ducks into like against the wall because, like you said, it's like only like a 1-bedroom sort of situation, studio apartment. So he tries to like obscure himself close to the door, but like as if he's trying to like move away behind whoever's coming in. But then realizing it's Sarah. Oh, and he has his gun drawn. But realizing it's Sarah, he'll still have his gun in his hand. He'll say, "Shit.
What are you doing?"
I don't know. I found some stuff though. Let's get out of here and I can explain.
Grab it, let's go.
It's on my phone. And yeah, he'll follow Sarah.
Yeah, head back to our place across the street.
Team meeting in the flop house.
I think Bear is pissed.
Yeah, when they get in there, she'll look at Adrian. I don't think she looks annoyed, just a little concerned that he just went off on his own. You said it was on your phone?
Yeah. And he'll just, like, as he's talking, he'll pull out his phone and start to text it to everybody. And you'll see the spreadsheet with the names, and then the last few pages of the journal. The last page being, what was it? They have found you. You were here.
They are coming. You are here.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, shit.
You think he knows?
Oh, yeah, he knows. 100% he knows.
If it's okay, I think Bear's going to roll a sanity check.
Yeah, go for it.
Oof. No, Bear moves forward, grabs Adrian by the collar, and pushes him against the wall.
Oh, shit.
Bumping him against the wall, and he says, "We said we were gonna do it clean. We said we were gonna be careful.
Bear.
What the fuck?"
Bear, get your hand off me.
Deep breaths, Bear. Back away from Adrian.
Bear is staring directly into Adrian's eyes. You can see that he is making a choice right now.
Leah reaches over and puts a hand on Bear's shoulder and tries to pull him back up.
At first, he pulls away, but then his shoulder droops a little bit and he relaxes.
Adrian starts to rub his neck, his collarbone.
We can't afford to fuck this up. You gotta stick to the plan.
Well, what's happened has happened, all right? And I found what I found.
He knew before we even got here, Bear.
Exactly.
He's connected to whatever cosmic entity that brought us together in the first place. He's the one puppeteering all this. He knows exactly how this is going to go down. Either we're dead or he is.
That doesn't mean we can afford to fuck this up.
He hasn't gotten home yet.
He's gonna notice that his door's unlocked when he gets there.
He already knows.
Bear, I'm sorry. Again, I know it was rash of me, but when I saw those rabbits and I started to put the pieces together, and then I saw that journal entry, it's like Dr. Caron said, it doesn't matter how we do this. It's going to get done. This is, I don't know, fate? Destiny?
It is fate that somebody is gonna get killed. Who gets killed is still in the wind, boy. I hope it's not you.
Is that a threat, Bear? I really hope it's not.
No, we're talking about natural selection. We're talking about evolution here, man. We're talking about the strong survive. We can't afford weakness.
You're right, we can't afford weakness. We gotta be in this together, right? So just chill out. I did what I did for us. I admit it wasn't smart. I wasn't thinking ahead, but look at what it got us.
Bear just lets go of Adrian and goes back. If there's even a broken down chair or sofa to sit on, he'll plop down on it, and if not, he kind of like goes into the corner of the room and just sort of like backs into the corner and slowly sinks down until his butt's on the floor. Can't afford to fuck this up, man. Can't afford it. They can't afford it. I'm not gonna let those kids. Not again.
I didn't take a picture of it, but there's also some ice uniforms in his closet. Might be useful to some degree. I don't know if we want to play dress up or, try and use them to sneak in or something. I don't know, but they're there. It's a small place, so I don't know what this list is. If I had to assume it's more recruitments like the other guys, the other freaks that he's been wrangling into this organization. But I'm not sure.
About how many names were on that list?
A few dozen.
Do the names look familiar to anybody else, or?
Well, you definitely saw Alan Rapp and Terry Smedley's name on there.
Yeah, so it's basically just sort of like a recruitment list, right?
As far as you can tell, yeah. And Alan Rapp and Terry Smedley were highlighted in green.
So green means he can trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they've been recruited already.
Locations? Were there locations on there?
Just names and aliases.
I mean, is it worth taking a minute to do cursory searches for them, or do we think that that's a rabbit hole?
I mean, it might not be a bad idea. Not really doing much else right now. I could look them up. But bigger question is when do we get them? Because I didn't really see anything as, regarding a schedule or a plan. Anything like that. Either it's stored somewhere else or he keeps it to himself.
We could also, looking them up may also give us information on whether or not they've accepted a new job on their LinkedIn or what have you. Anything like that. Or like maybe recent movement. It's not a bad idea to look up the names. Also, if we want, we could just, if anyone knows anyone who could leak names as these people are possible, child abusers or pedophiles or people who are not good people, wouldn't that be good to know?
I can certainly drop the names in some circles online, but...
Who knows if they'll see accountability, but at least the information's going to be out there.
Yeah. I mean, I could see what I could do, but... I don't know when the big thing is I don't know when he's going to come home.
That's why we continue surveilling the place.
That's the thing, and how long do we stay in a trap house, boiling? I mean, Pitts said he doesn't have... Pitts was like it didn't seem like he could get as much in the way of time. Like, we had to do this soon.
I mean, I think we can give it the night, see if he shows up at all. And then from there, make some moves, maybe.
At the very least, we can see if he comes home to sleep. If he doesn't, then we know he knows that he knows his home is not safe. And then we have to figure out plan B.
I mean, if we're just going to watch, and he looks at Adrian and he's staring right at him.
The good news is that he wants us to come. He wants to meet us. Like, he's been looking for us. He's just not been doing a very good job of it. So, he's going to get his wish soon. It's just a matter of time now.
It depends on how you look at that, Adrian, because technically he's done a very good job of finding us.
Or someone else has been having a really great time playing puppet show, and it's just us and him just jumping around on strings. Are you good, Bear?
Yeah. Look, if we're just going to watch, 2 of us could go to Frank Harvey and watch that, and 2 of us could stay here. And we'll have a plan by morning.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. I mean, I don't love the idea of splitting up in case something happens at either place, but...
No. That's why I'm emphasizing we all got to be clear. We are just watching.
But what if he does show up tonight and it's only 2 of us around? Like...
Then we're just watching.
Do we not take the opportunity?
That's not going to result in a clean hit.
All right, man.
That's not going to do what we want to do.
I get it. I'm not a child.
All right.
Okay. We watch. We just watch. It's only watching.
I think Bear looks at Sarah at this point. She says, I mean, that's the right thing to do, right? I mean, we should at least do some surveillance before we jump into the deep end, right?
Listen, what if, okay, like, I don't want to be impatient here, but I am a little impatient, and I can't help but just have Pizzarelli's voice and his words and his eyes in my head, and I just keep thinking back to yesterday, and...
Adrian, do you want to be dead at the end of all this?
No, but if he shows up, like, what if that's our only chance?
Listen, I get what Adrian is saying. We want to be careful, but we also want to take a chance if it comes. We might not get many. He might notice and we might lose him, or he knows that we're here. He knows that we're coming. Something is guiding him. He probably has more intel than we do. I get what Adrian is saying. I don't think we should be rushing into houses alone, just for the sake of curiosity. But I also don't think we can risk losing an opportunity if something comes up.
Then do we all stay here, or do we all go to Frank Harvey?
I say we split up and we take whatever opportunity we can when it arises.
I don't think we take an opportunity if we don't have the full team backing us.
How far away is it? Like, on a map? Like, how long would it take to get from one place to the other?
It'd take about a half hour from where you are to get up there.
Okay.
We are in constant communication with each other. If something happens, we will know. The only problem is transportation. Has the car.
Yeah, I mean, whoever goes to the water reclamation point would probably take it. So if something happens there, whoever is here, even distance aside, it's going to take us a considerable amount of time to get there. I mean, there's risk even if we do just say we're just going to go and we're going to watch, because he knows that we're coming. And this whole game or whatever it is a hunt. There's predators and there's prey. It's not there's no reason for him to want to meet us just for the sake of saying hello. We're being hunted. So if he knows that we're here, I don't know. I don't think we should split up. I think we have to choose one place or the other for tonight.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So just stay here since we're already here. Check out the other place in the morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I guess we can set up a watch schedule too, so some people can sleep in shifts or something.
Barry, you didn't happen to remember to get those drinks and the snacks, did you?
Shit.
We were in a rush to get back because someone,
I can go back out again.
No, it's fine.
Nah, I mean, if we're staying the night, we're gonna need something. Water at the very least.
It's too hot to not have water.
I don't mind doing it. I promise I won't break and enter anywhere else. It's the least I could do. And Adrian's actually going to start moving towards the front door as if to head out.
I think Bear's just gonna look at Adrian and say, make sure you get at least 24 bottles of water.
Yeah, I'll get a case.
Yeah, whole case of it, man.
Just text me if you guys need anything. And Adrian will start to head out.
Where do you go?
If there's just like a Walmart somewhere nearby, he'll just go to that.
Oh, okay. I assumed that you were going to do something else, but that's okay.
No, he's actually just going to go, he's doing it as like a little, peace offering. It was like I know I fucked up and I'll be there, and boy.
Easy enough. You're easily able to find a Walmart. You get your cases of water, your cases of Monster. You're easily able to procure these supplies.
But when he's in the parking lot, he is going to leech off their internet, and he does want to just do like a kind of like a cursory glance to look up some of these names that were on the list.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, without additional selectors, because all that's really on there are like first and last name and various aliases, it's not enough to narrow down the search pool and narrow down the results.
Do some of the aliases pair up with any of the names, or do any of the aliases ping up in any like forums, like a 4chan or like QAnon or anything like that?
Nothing on the white side of the internet.
Well, I go to the dark side too.
Yeah, do you use like an onion router? Do you access?
Yeah. I mean, he has like an onion router with him and stuff like that. You know he's set up.
Yeah, so you access the dark web using the Walmart Wi-Fi in the parking lot. And sure enough, some of the names and some of the aliases, which look like usernames, pop up. And it takes you to some of the darker corners of the dark web, primarily those reserved for child pornographers and sex traffickers.
Before he gets too deep, he just sort of like cringes and tastes the bile in his throat and just sort of slams the laptop shut. I mean, he's had to deal with some of this stuff before in his line of work, but like it's given everything that's going on, it's just too much right now.
Do you do any research on the reclamation plant?
Sure. I'll do it on the white side though. I'm not going dark web with it yet.
What would you like to know? What would you like to look up about it?
What do we know about it already? It is likely a black site, and it's unlisted. I'd like to see like previous ownerships, not just of the plant, but maybe even of the land, nearby properties, and any kind of like historical bits related to that.
Do you have anything in accounting or law?
I have 50 in accounting and 50 in law.
Go ahead and make a law roll.
83.
83 over 50, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, just too much to parse through right now in these kind of less than ideal conditions.
Yeah. It's also not great Wi-Fi, and
It's not.
Going on the dark web took a lot out of me.
But if you all find a way to get access to internet, public Wi-Fi, and put some of those accounting and law skills to use, you might be able to do some digging. But I'll at least give you this. just from public websites and Google Earth, what you've learned is that water pumped into the Frank Harvey water reclamation plant first gets pushed through a series of bar grate sluices arranged in concentric squares to remove solid waste. Catwalks connect these large concrete canals to the main junction house, and then from there, the water flows into a series of recessed sedimentation basins. Solids fall into the sludge skimmer at the bottom of the pool, while top skimmers remove pooling oils. Water is then pumped into a series of organic clarifier cisterns, seasoned in pools with waste-consuming microorganisms before transfer into the treatment plant itself. Inside, there's an enormous network of pipes and vats that administer loads of lye, granulated carbon, chlorine, and pressurized ozone until the water is dumped back into the aquifer through one of the recessed sand pits surrounding the property. Looking at Google Maps, on the northeast side of the compound lies an enormous, windowless, gray warehouse at the corner of the property. Fences with razor wire cut the area off from the rest of the compound and the surrounding desert scrubland. Security lights and cameras look like they watch everything around it. There's a single service road through the desert that terminates at the only outside access, which is a gate and the razor wire fence.
Cool.
So what I choose to believe about that description you just read is that there are like canals of water that go in that are gross and disgusting and nobody would ever want to walk in. But those are probably weak points into the place. Or am I over-interpreting that?
Well, into the water reclamation plant, but then there's that warehouse.
Yeah. Would it be easier to get in through the canals, and then at least that would get us through the fence and all the lighting and stuff? Or
they are not connected.
Oh, they're not connected. Okay, so the warehouse is separate from that.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
As for Bear, Leah, and Sarah, while Adrian is out on his supply run, you all maintain your visual of the apartment, and you notice the rabbit and the newborns are still out there on the sidewalk in front of the apartment itself. You see nobody coming or going.
Okay, so no movement, basically.
Zero movement.
I think while we're staring out the window together, kind of like absorbing all this, Bear is just gonna kind of turn to Leah and say, you know, my wife, my ex-wife, we had a bank account together for a long time, and I don't think she ever knew that I knew her password.
Okay.
You think she'll understand if I tell her that it was for a good cause?
Oh, Bear. Oh, Bear, I'm sorry. She will not.
You're probably right. Fucking bitch took me for everything I had. Divorce is a bitch, man.
Sorry, Bear. My husband doesn't know what's going on either. Doesn't have a clue. And he writes things like this. Crimes and horror. What he comes up with, though, can't match what people actually do.
You seem pretty smart. You can probably stay one step ahead of him. Cheryl somehow always knew. She always knew when I was lying.
He's a writer. He's stuck a lot of the times with his head in the clouds. He's successful, don't get me wrong, but it helps that I'm the breadwinner.
Oh, you think it helps? I bet he doesn't like it, though. I bet it eats him up inside.
My relationship isn't your relationship, Bear.
Bear sits with that for a while and finally says, yeah, that's probably true.
We can't know what other people are feeling. Not even when we do something to hurt them. And believe me, I've hurt him. I've lied to him. I've avoided him. I've hurt him. I don't know what he'll think of me after all of this.
Maybe I'm the lucky one then. Got nothing to go back to.
Yeah. I think that's where Leah lets the conversation sit.
Hey, what's Sarah doing during all this?
She's probably listening to that conversation quietly, but not really participating in it much. Yeah, I think she's just kind of locked in. I don't think she's really being that social at the moment.
Yeah, Adrian, we'll say shortly after this, should you decide to, you can arrive back at the flop house.
Yeah, I'll come back there. And, he'll park, look around, make sure no one's, looking sketchy or anything like that. Does he notice the rabbits are still on the front porch?
Oh, yeah.
Are they still feeding, or are they just, hanging out?
You'd have to get, up close to see if they're feeding, but they're at least, from what you can tell, kind of curled under and beside the mother.
He is tempted to for a moment with the case of water in his hand, so he thinks better, and yeah, he'll head back inside. I'm back. And he'll start to distribute water. I did a little more digging when I was at Walmart, and the names on those lists, it's not good. At least not from what I was able to find.
What do you mean?
Dark web CP shit.
Jesus. Okay.
We have to take this guy out.
Yeah, it's the plan.
I used to not... I don't know, I you read about evil and even working some of the cases, I'm like, yeah, that person's pretty bad. But knowing what I know about this kid and what he's doing and who he's collaborating with and what he wants to do, it's just I don't know, I never thought I'd be this close to evil.
I wish I had something comforting to say to that, but...
No, I really wasn't looking for it. But I got some chips if anyone wants some.
Bear grabs the bag of chips and smashes them open.
Adrian sits down, plops down really, cracks open a lukewarm monster and just starts to sip on it.
Damn, I should have asked you to bring ice.
Phrasing.
Well, shit. Shut up.
Adrian cracks kind of a weird, awkward grin, and then just kind of continues to sip on his monster.
So what's the plan?
I think just scope this out for the rest of the night, and then if nothing happens, go to the water plant in the morning.
Can we do more research on the water plant? Or, I mean, we have phones with internet, but yeah, not a lot.
If you want to do it on your phones, sure, yeah. And these are the burners, right?
These are the burner phones, yeah.
And that's that brings up a good question. What have you all done with your personal phones?
Smart thing to do would be to at least turn them off, if not leave them behind.
Yeah, I think that Adrian has his somewhere, but it's turned off, or at least it's secured.
Yeah, Leah's would also probably be off in somewhere, in a bag or something.
Sarah probably left hers at home, I think.
Yeah, would Adrian have mentioned that they should turn their phone off to Bear? Because Bear, when we're not, communicating, might have pulled his phone out and start watching YouTube videos on it.
I don't think he would have, because I think he would have assumed that you would have known better. But if he does see that you start doing that, he'll just sort of perk up and be like, dude, what the fuck?
What? I'm not doing any Delta Green shit on it.
And yeah, Adrian just sort of reach over, take his phone and do what needs to be done to it.
I think you see Bear start to get pissed off about it, and then he thinks about it and he realizes, and he stops himself.
Bear, you know about killing people, guns, and TRT. I know about phones. And he tosses it back over to him.
He takes it and puts it in his pocket.
You can trust me a little bit.
Well, with that, we're going to do some research, and then we'll bring this session to a close. So for skills, who's got the highest accounting? I think that is... What's your accounting at again, Jack?
It is 50.
And then who's got the highest law? Let me see. Jack again. All right, well, you know what? I will give you an opportunity to make an accounting roll and then make another law roll.
Okay.
Well, with a 100 over 50. You know what? Go ahead and roll 1d4. What do we got? Let's see. 4. Jesus. You lose that much willpower, and you are exhausted until you get a full night's sleep.
Well, I'm just knocking these monsters back.
Yep, you just, for whatever reason, just the exhaustion begins to set in, kind of coming out of nowhere and hitting you harder than you would have expected between the drive and everything else. Maybe it's just all catching up with you. You don't know, but...
And I think that he's ignoring watches, like others are maybe like changing shifts and he's just staying up.
So while the accounting roll was a fumble, you did succeed on your law roll. So what you find is that the Frank Harvey water reclamation plant, specifically something called the surplus, is known in the local immigration law community. Some families that learned the location of their loved ones and scraped up the resources to hire a lawyer managed to secure releases for teens kept in that facility. Almost all of the captives lacked formal charges, aside from failing to staple their immigration papers to their heads. However, many families lack the means to secure any counsel, so the surplus holds on to most quote-unquote clients collected by its enforcement agents and local police. The incentives for the mass incarceration are clear. Local immigration advocates estimate Life Force probably pays less than $2.30 per inmate per day against a $208 a day stipend provided by the government. The $205.70 per inmate profit doesn't even account for the daily bonus Life Force receives for each quote-unquote slam dunk deportation candidate. Anyone caught committing a crime, including jaywalking, fornication, minor drug possession, and underage drinking. They profit off every extension and court delay. Most of the writing you find regarding the surplus and the alleged ICE detainment facility at the Frank Harvey water reclamation plant is through a local nonprofit called El Puente de la Esperanza, the Bridge of Hope, or more often just the Bridge, which is a co-op of legal immigration defense officials providing pro bono representation for asylum and naturalization cases since 2015.
Okay.
This El Puente de Esperanza, do they have access to the kids on the site?
Not that you know of, no.
I was just wondering if that was a way that we could use to get at the kids.
Potentially, they do represent families that have managed to petition to have their loved ones released.
Seems like I don't know what kind of story we feed them, but it seems like a possible in.
That's all we can find right now. But as the night winds down, you all continue your surveillance of Esau Tillman's apartment with no activity to be seen besides the rabbit and the newborns out front.
I think Bear, he doesn't pull out his personal phone, but I think you guys assume that he's, like looking for information on the Hart, the water reclamation plant. But he is there. He's got his phone out, and you see he's watching a YouTube video. And he pulls it over, and you can see that it's a famous influencer. And he says, Adrian.
What?
Just watch this. Just
what?
Here. And he pushes play. And you hear on the phone, this influencer is reading from a book. He says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. And brother, and Bear hits pause. He says, it's what we need you to do right now, Adrian. We need you to be a man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Put away childish things. We got a job to do.
Adrian, his eyes come up from the screen and look into bears, and I imagine they're both sort of underlit in the pale glow of the phone. And Adrian just busts out laughing. You're shitting me, man, right? You're joking. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna brick that phone too. Oh my god. And Adrian just gets up and just kind of like starts pacing again.
This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke.
Sarah has her head like tucked a little bit away so that I can't see her laughing.
Well, on that note, as everyone settles in for their continued surveillance for the rest of the evening, taking shifts, keeping an eye on the door, we will bring tonight's session to a close and we will pick up with the next morning. Thank you for listening to Delta Green, God's Teeth, part of the Black Project Gaming podcast. If you like what you heard, please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or a comment on YouTube. Be sure to visit blackprojectgaming.com for previous and future Delta Green episodes. If you'd like updates on all future releases, please follow us on Blue Sky or Facebook. Until next time, I'm Vince, your host and handler, with Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, Doug as Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerrald Bear Swenson, Jack as Special Agent Adrian Selivanov with the FBI's Computer Analysis Response Team, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Thank you again, and remember, we'll be seeing you.